What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to explain to you guys why Starlink Mini, the roaming edition, the little guy here that supposedly a lot of people are talking about, they don't exactly know everything about it until they actually hook it up and use it. A lot of times they'll get a sponsorship by Starlink and they'll send them one of these units to show off and stuff like that, but they never end up really paying the bill and knowing exactly how it is. And today I want to explain to you guys why this exact unit right here, the Starlink Mini, the latest edition, the one you can roam with, the one you can drive with supposedly, is going back to the store. I'm returning it and getting my refund. I'll explain everything to you guys right here, right now. The main reason I'll tell you guys is the pause and the resume and all that stuff that everybody talks about, that you can supposedly pause the service and then resume it. It's not true. You can't pause and resume in the middle of the month. So it's a month-to-month subscription that you do use for 30 days. And basically, if you used it for a week and you want to pause it and then use it again some other time, that ain't going to work. You can pause it after your subscription is done, but I used it for a week, and on my last day before my billing cycle, I actually tried pausing it and it wouldn't let me pause. I tried canceling it, just because of that reason, because you can't pause and unpause whenever you feel like it, and it doesn't let you do it. It just won't. You can pause and unpause like later, you know what I mean? As far as when it goes month to month, like you could use it for a month, pause it, and then not use it for a few months and then unpause it again. So it'll still bill you in your whatever increments of the months that you use it. But $165 for the unlimited service. As far as like driving with it, in my area, I'm in Washington, Idaho, Montana, and I tell you what, driving with it, if you're driving with like no trees, no mountains in the background, it's okay. It supposedly follows the satellites, but even that is in and out. But if you're dealing with like taller trees, if you're in the twisty, windy turns, and if you're dealing with mountains, guess what? That's not happening. It's just the service is in and out, in and out, in and out, and it's more out than in. So just so you guys know, the whole talk about, all these things of it working 100 miles an hour and stuff like that, well, you got to be somewhere where there's no mountains and no, what do you call it? Obstructions. Because if it's not clear, it ain't working. The other thing is you can't just put it on the windshield of your car and do it. We did it on the motorhome, and the wiper blades are a little bit in the way, but then we figured out the correct place. And even that, with a big old windshield and a slant, it still wasn't good enough. So you got to mount it ideally on the outside of your vehicle, or maybe inside on your sunroof, and then it will work good as far as like driving and using it in the areas where there's no cell phone service. The other part is it's also in and out. We were camping in the mountains in Idaho, and as far as it working good, it was working 50-50. It was always in and out. There was, if you're in a foresty area and big tall mountains in the backgrounds all around you, kinda, those satellites, wherever they're flying, if they're not flying directly above you, it's having issues. So the service was also in and out. Like I said, maybe it's ideal where there's no mountains, no trees. If you're, in a desert, maybe it'll work good. But for $165 a month and not being able to actually pause it, like use it for a week or two, pause it, and whenever you feel like you're using it again, unpause it and stuff like that, if you don't do it that way, then it's not worth it for me. I don't know if it's worth it for you. So basically, you're going to be using it a whole month, and then you can pause it after that, and then you can resume your service for another month. So it's always a month to month. There's no such thing as pausing it whenever you feel like it. Yeah, you can pause it whenever you feel like it. It's just the next month they won't bill you. But not like you could use it for a few days, then pause it, then unpause it, and stuff like that. It doesn't work that way, just so you guys know. So there's there's a few things that people talk about that actually don't know exactly what they're talking about. And I actually used it. The day before it was actually due for payment again to renew, I actually canceled, and it wouldn't even let me cancel. It still billed me for the next month. So that's another issue. One day before your renewal is another problem that I'm going to have to call the bank and tell them, hey, I canceled it, but they're still billing me, and there's no way to actually get your, refund, because you're not really dealing with any customer service. You're dealing with, an app as far as canceling or resuming, changing your plans and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully that helps you guys out on the Starlink Mini. This is the guy. It comes in a little box. As far as the good parts about it, it pulls very little power. On average, it pulls anywhere between 20 and 25 watts. So using a power bank lasts like an 1800 watt power bank lasted me a day and a half with use of this without recharging the power bank and other things being plugged in and charged, like coffee machine and things like that. So it pulls very little power if you guys are worried about that. You can use the wall plug obviously with it, or you can get a accessory to actually plug into your cigarette lighter if you want. But most vehicles these days, they come with something that you can plug in. You can also get a little 100 watt inverter or 50 watt inverter as well to plug in your cigarette lighter, and then use this with your vehicle if you want. But for me, $165 for this is definitely not worth it the way it's working now. Maybe they'll perfect it later on, but for now, it's going back to Best Buy, and I'm getting my money back, at least for this. And as I'm speaking right now, I got this thing a week ago, and a week ago it was actually on sale for $299 instead of the $500. And can you guys believe that you can pay $500 for this and still have bad service like that? I would be mad even more. Let me know your thoughts about it if you guys are using this, and God bless. We'll see you in the next one.